Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Destiny Fleming, and as the title says, I'm going to be drawing every day for 7 days. I didn't make an introduction at the beginning. Right now I'm on day 5, but I can say that this is a bit of an emotional roller coaster. But I'll mention my goals throughout the process. Like as I go, I'll start to say, well, I realize that this is something that I need to work on, and then I'll work on it in the next piece. And there are some times where I start to get frustrated, and there's some really high highs and there's some really low lows with everything, you know, because I'm having to teach myself all this. I'm a self-taught artist, so there's a lot that I need to work on. But yeah, I do plan on doing a lot more of these videos in the future, just because, like I said, I have a lot to work on. So there's no reason not to document the process so I can see how far I've come. And look back and be like, oh my God, girl, that was a mess. Look at what I can do now, you know? This video isn't the most cohesively put together. In the future, I want to make them like more aesthetic and YouTube art girl, you know, but this one isn't that. This one is just, I was trying to draw and I happened to be recording at the same time. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all start watching the video. Have a great day. Stay blessed. Mwah. I absolutely love watching these videos myself, but I prefer when people are talking and there's also music rather than it being music the whole time, because then I start being engaged and it makes me sleepy because I'm just watching somebody paint. So I will be talking and I'll also have music in the background. If you're wondering, the palette is from Amazon and the paint is Arteza. I can link both of them in the description. So in this video, this was the first time that I had painted with gouache in probably like 2 months. I had been drawing a lot, like 4 or 5 days before actually doing this video, just because I wanted to get back into art because I hadn't been doing it that much. I had like a little stint of a depressive episode before I started doing art again, so I really wanted to jump back into it full force. That's when I decided to make this video, because I may as well document the process, you know, so I can see how much better I get as I continue to do my art. But as you see, I'm doing mushrooms. I'm not doing mushrooms. You get what I'm saying. I'm drawing mushrooms. I think they look really, well, I'm painting mushrooms. I think they look really cute. This blue one ended up being one of my favorites out of the entire drawing session. Alright, it's day 2. I had a slight headache yesterday. That's why I didn't really talk much or do like introduction or whatever. But this is the product of day 1. I had already like slightly drawn out a rough sketch of it 2 or 3 days before, and I just painted it in. I'm pretty happy with it looking at it now. I was a little disappointed yesterday, but I like the colors. If anything, I just wish the background was a little bit different, you know, because I feel like it doesn't really complement the mushrooms in the front. I like the textures, like the actual physical textures and the textures that you can see within it. Yeah, I think this one, and this one are my favorite. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to be drawing today. I think I'm just going to look for some inspiration on Pinterest. The main takeaways from yesterday is just that I want to focus more on the background, because like I like it, I think it's pretty, but I do think it could be improved and be a little bit more detail oriented. The main reason why I like these top 3 the most is just because the texture and the details within them versus the rest of them, which are pretty basic in comparison. I do like this one and this one too though. But yeah, so backgrounds and highlights, depth, and textures. But those are the main things I want to focus on today.
And another woman that could take your spotlight. If I wrote you a symphony just to say how much you mean to me, what would you do? If I told you you were beautiful, would you date me on the regular? Tell me, would you? Well, baby, I've been around the world, but I ain't seen myself another girl like you. This ring here represents my heart, but there's just one thing I need from you. Say I do. Because I can see us holding hands, walking on the beach, our toes in the sand. I can see us on the countryside, sitting on the grassland side by side. You could be my baby, let me make you my lady. Girl, you amaze me, ain't gotta do nothing crazy. See, all I want you to do is be my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love.
Painting these green tiles were by far the most tedious part of this entire process. It was actually also very meditative. Before it was at time-lapse speed, now it's going at actual natural speed, and you see how slow I'm moving. But I thoroughly enjoyed the entire thing because I wanted it to be perfect. I had the vision in my mind of what I wanted those tiles to look like. And they turned out pretty much exactly how I wanted them to be. But like I said, it was a very tedious process because first I had to do the first layer of color, second layer of color, then put all the white in between it to look like grout. So it took a little decent amount of time, but I like the outcome. Also, this is a fair warning. As you can see, when I'm focused, I either stick my tongue out or I have my mouth open. I don't know what it is, why I do it. It's not cute at all. But y'all gonna have to get used to it because I'm doing art videos on a regular. So, yeah.
I would like to get to know if I could be the kind of girl that you took me down for. 'Cause when I look at you, I feel something tell me that you're the kind of guy that should make a move on. And if I don't let you know, then I won't be for real. I could be wrong, but I feel like something could be going on. The more I see it, the more that it becomes so true. There ain't no other for me, it's only you. I wanna be down with what you go. I wanna be down. No matter the time of day and night, it's gonna be down. Wanna be
And we can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna ride.
So right, 'cause we had trust. Now it's drowning in our lives. You never know when to chill. Always talk about keep it real. Only till you pass. Boy, you act so tough, like you're never been in love. If you don't quit acting up, alone is where you're going enough.
I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night.
Hello,
Alright, so end of day 2. I remember I said one of my goals is getting details better and highlights and textures in the background. And just having a more interesting background overall. I think I accomplished that. It still feels like there's something missing. I don't know exactly what. Maybe some more plants on the wall, but I didn't want to overdo it. I like it though. Overall, I like it. I'll have like a nicer video showing what it looks like inserted, but that's all it is. I know y'all probably like, why did this girl come on here with this painting already halfway done? So I started out drawing this just because I was bored. I had nothing else to do, so I sketched all of it out first, and then I started painting it. Then I realized, like, girl, you've been doing this for 2 hours. There's no way that you're gonna want to draw something else for this video today, because like I said, I had already been doing it for a long time. So I was like, you know what, it's not gonna matter. I'm gonna come on here. There's still plenty that I have to do. There's still plenty of detail that I have to add, so I'm just gonna pick up where I'm at. And that's what I did. And there's still plenty of detail to add. So the background was the same basic background that I used for the previous day in the window. same process with the blue. And then the lily pads you'll get to see because I still have 3 left. And then the frog you'll still get to see because I still have a whole nother little baby frog to do. And I have to add a little bit more detail to the big frog. So I didn't think it would be that big of a deal just because, like I said, there's still a lot to do. I can say the most trouble that I had with this entire painting was the little frog. I don't know what it was about it. I had already done the big one, so it shouldn't have been a problem, truly. But getting the hands and the legs positioned properly onto the fingernail was way more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
I would like to get to know if it could be the kind of girl that you could be down for. 'Cause when I look at you, I feel something tell me that you're the kind of guy that I should make a move on. And if I don't let you know, then I won't be for real. I could be wrong, but I feel like something could be going on. The more I see it, the more that it becomes so true. There ain't no other for me, it's only you. I'll be down with what you go. I wanna be down. I wanna be down. I wanna be down. No matter the time of day or night, it's gonna be down. Wanna be down.
I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. Usually I don't do this often, but since recruiting isn't an option due to unusual rain and thunder, baby I wonder, would you put your sweats on for me? Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for ya. Let me lay a great time on ya. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill.
By this point, I had started getting frustrated with this painting because I knew exactly what I wanted it to be. I had a vision in my head. I had a reference to work off of on Pinterest. And I could not, for the life of me, get it done the way that I wanted to do it. It was stressing me out. I had the painting to the left of it, the one that I had done the day before. It took me like 5.5, 6 hours to do. So I was already painted out from the day before. And when this wasn't going right, I didn't have the patience to sit there and continue. I had to force myself to stop.
I would like to get to know if it could be the kind of girl that you could be down for. 'Cause when I look at you, I feel something tell me that you're the kind of guy that I should make a move on. And if I don't let you know, then I won't be for real. I could be wrong, but I feel like something could be going on. The more I see it, the more that it becomes
another woman that can take your spotlight. If I wrote you a symphony, just to say how much you mean to me, what would you do? If I told you you were beautiful, would you date me on the regular? Tell me, would you? Well, baby, I've been around the world, but I ain't seen myself another girl like you. This ring here represents my heart, but there's just one thing I need from you. Say I do, because I can see us holding hands, walking on the beach, our toes in the sand. I can see us on the countryside, sitting on the grassland side by side. You could be my baby, let me make you my lady. Girl, you amaze me, ain't gotta do nothing crazy. See, all I want you to do is be my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away. Ain't another woman that can take your spot, my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away. Ain't another woman that can take your spot, my love. Now if I wrote you a love note and made you smile at every word I wrote, what would you do? Would that make you wanna change your scene and wanna be the one on my team? Tell me, would you? See, what's the point in waiting anymore? Cause girl, I've never been more sure that baby it's you. This ring here represents my heart.
What you do to me, between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place, cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else knows what you do, that's why I'm honest in my love with you.
So I did record a video talking about day, I think this is 3 and 4, just because day 4, I was very much frustrated. Today is day 5, and I don't think I did like an amazing job on it either. I've been trying to spend time with family, which means I haven't been coming in here to draw until like way later in the day. Like right now it's 11:16. So we'll go ahead and talk about it. I can say after day 3, my motivation to continue this plateaued. Like I've been kind of struggling to really get into it just because I spent this may not look like it was something that was really tedious, but this took me like 5 hours overall. I have a lot of detail in here, truly. I'm not even gonna sell myself short. Like I took a lot of time and thought and put it into this, and that kind of drained me out. So when it was time for the next day, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, but I just didn't end up doing it because I didn't feel like painting anymore. Because like I said, this was like 5 hours, you know, because I drew it all out first, then I put the first layer, and then I put the second layer, and then I had to wait on everything to dry because I'm using gouache. So my motivation completely plateaued after this one, but I thoroughly am in love with this one. So if you remember from day 1, I said the main things that I wanted to work on was background, texture, and then I believe like color cohesiveness. So having like a smaller palette just so everything kind of blends together better and looks like a more cohesive piece overall. And I feel like I really accomplished that in this one. This is beautiful to me. You know, I spent a lot of time on it. Like I said, I spent 5 hours on this. There's a lot of detail. There's a lot of small little fucking precise brushstrokes in here, and I'm really happy with it. The only thing that kind of messed up was her fingernail, and I know a frog sitting on a finger doesn't really make sense, but I didn't intend on actually painting this. I was just drawing randomly, but her fingernail got kind of messed up. There's really nothing that I dislike in here. I could have drawn the small frog's legs better. Beyond that, I really love it. There's nothing that I don't like. At first I didn't like the wings. I love the wings now. And that's for day 3. Now day 4, this atrocity over here, this looks a hot mess. So what it was supposed to be was 2 pieces of cliff with spots of like moss and stuff on it. it does not appear to be two cliffs with spots of moss on it at all. And then like a river running through it with fog on it. I just couldn't get myself to focus and really put myself into it. I started getting frustrated. That's why it looks the way that it looks. And I told myself, if I'm getting frustrated, then that means I need to go ahead and stop, because nothing constructive or productive is going to happen from this point. So I went ahead and put like a couple more little paint strokes in there, and then I left it alone. Now today is day 5. Okay, so this is day 5 right here. And you know what? I'm not really mad at it. I really like the jellyfish. I want to paint a jellyfish now. Just because I didn't think I would be able to draw it that well. So I should be able to paint it pretty decently. And there are plenty of different species to pick from. And I could use some really vibrant colors, just because they do come in a wide array of colors. The face was the first thing that I did, then the jellyfish. And by this point, this, and this, I was already ready to be done drawing. I didn't draw for long. It was probably like 10 minutes. But the first couple days I did like hours. So I think what I need to focus on is just doing it more so for short stints, rather than getting extremely focused on something and doing it for 3+ hours and then being burnt out really quickly just because I'm doing it every day, you know. But I like the girl's face too, this one right here. My sis right here. But it did show me that I need to work on eyes. I've always been bad with eyes. I don't know what it is. I also can continue to work on noses. Really, I mean, I can continue to work on everything, because everything can be improved. But it definitely showed me I don't know how to do straight hair. Yeah. I mean, if you don't know, obviously I'm self-taught. I'm teaching on myself this like as I'm going. I haven't been in an art class since I think like elementary school. So I wanted to take it in high school, but I was in ROTC and I couldn't fit very many, what were those called? Electives. I couldn't fit many electives in there beyond like what was already required. So I never really got to take art. I've always wanted to take a ceramics class, like with clay and molded or whatever, but doesn't matter. I ended up buying some of my own over COVID time because there was no reason not to. But, yeah, so I'm teaching myself all this stuff. I would love to go to art school. I wish that's what I would have went to college for. If I could take it back 1,000%, I would have went to art school. But, yeah, so I don't really, the point of me saying that is I don't know the fundamentals of art at all. So I'm having to teach myself all this stuff. So there's a lot that I need to work on. That's basically what I'm getting at. But, I'm excited to work on it. I'm not really mad at it. But I still have a little ways to go. But yeah, 2 more days.
Ain't another woman that can take your spotlight. If I wrote you a symphony, just to say how much you mean to me, what would you do? If I told you you were beautiful, would you date me on the regular? Tell me, would you? Well, baby, I've been around the world, but I ain't seen myself another girl like you. This ring here represents my heart, but there's just one thing I need from you. Say I do. Because I can see us holding hands, walking on the beach, our toes in the sand. I can see us on the countryside, sitting on the grassland side by side. You could be my baby, let me make you my lady. Girl, you amaze me, ain't gotta do nothing crazy. See, all I want you to do is be my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away. Ain't another woman that can take your spot, my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away. Ain't another woman that can take your spot, my love. Now if I wrote you a love note and made you smile at every word I wrote, what would you do? Would that make you wanna change your scene and wanna be the one on my team? Tell me, would you? See, what's the point in waiting anymore? Cause girl, I've never been more sure that baby is This ring here represents my heart.